Hello and welcome to video number 29. This is me learning how to use the AKAI MPC Live 3 and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. This is going to be a deep dive video, so it could be pretty long. I have provided chapter markers for you to whiz around to the bits you want to see, but I strongly advise watching the whole thing first time, especially if you are new to the Live 3. Before I get into this, I've had quite a few crashes whilst doing my preparation for this video. There are a few bugs in this machine still, so I strongly recommend that you save your work regularly, because otherwise if your Live 3 crashes, you'll have lost everything if you haven't saved. So this video is about the clip matrix. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll tell you absolutely everything there is to know about it, but let's put it this way: if you digest the contents of this video, you'll be well on your way to being able to use this amazing feature of the Live 3 with confidence. Just before we get into this, when I started filming this series on the Live 3, I dealt with the parts of the machine like they were separate entities. I did videos on the main mode and on the grid view and on the arrange page. I was dealing with them like they were completely separate things, but of course that's not true, is it? They have this kind of symbiotic relationship. They interconnect with each other, and when you get to understand the clip matrix, this thing here, you'll instantly realize that is a fact, that these parts of the machine all talk to each other. They're all related. In one of my videos I talked about the Live 3 being like a huge mansion with many rooms, with sub-rooms leading off those rooms. But what I should have said was that the rooms have connecting doors to other rooms. And whilst researching for today's video about the clip matrix, the penny finally dropped. I mean, I did a deep dive video about the main page and I didn't even mention the clip matrix, but of course it's a very important part of that. And in understanding the clip matrix, you will find that this really unlocks a lot of understanding about the other parts of the device. Okay, so all that being said, grab a tea, grab a coffee, get some biscuits, and let's go. I'm using the main demo song yet again because it's such a good song to demonstrate this machine. So in case you want to know where to find that, it's menu, you go to browser, you go to demos, and it's this top one here, 91 vocals demo featuring Chante Marie. Okay, and that's what we've got at the moment. Right, so before we get to understanding anything about the clip matrix, let's decide how we find it. Well, there's a few ways of getting there. You can double tap this arrange button. You'll see matrix is underneath. Double tap, there it is. Go back to arrange. We can hold shift and arrange because the matrix is in red writing, so it's under a shift function. Or you can go to the menu and press clip matrix. Three ways of getting there. So what is the clip matrix? Well, it gives the user an Ableton Live style experience. Clips, these things here, these little boxes here, are sections of music which loop according to their length. So with the clip matrix, the music isn't played in a linear fashion like it is in the arranger, in this kind of left to right tape style, but rather it's played in sections that can be called up more or less instantly at any time. It's very satisfying to use, I have to say, and a clip can be many bars of music or just a single bar. You can have sections from any point in the sequence on any track playing back together or separately. In this way you can build up fascinating arrangements of different sections of the sequence. For instance, you could have the chorus bass part playing over the verse piano chords. Think of it as getting your song, or project as it's called on the Live 3, cutting it into pieces and then stitching it back together in various different ways, or even using one or two pieces on their own. If you've never used Ableton Live before, then you might find this a bit of a weird concept, but having used it for a few days, it will become second nature to you, I promise. So on this page here, we can see an 8x8 grid. So I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells that way. So we've got 64 cells. Now in the arrangement, the tracks go from north to south, if you like, down the side here. In the clip matrix, they go along the top. So you can see we're seeing tracks 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 at the moment in view. So the tracks are running along the top. So anything to do with this pluck track, track 6, is underneath it. Anything to do with the mellotron track is underneath it. So you can see the names of the tracks on the top there, and on the right hand side coming down here we've got the names of the rows. Now if you're familiar with Ableton Live, these are scenes. So if I were to press one of these buttons, it would launch all the clips on that row. And by default these come up as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But you can rename them just as you can rename the tracks. So in Ableton Live, like I said, these are called scenes, but on the AKAI these are simply called rows. If I were to boot up a completely empty project, this wouldn't be having any cells in it at all, it would be completely empty. But this is an established project, so it's got an arrangement and it's got this clip matrix with clips in. These clips all look the same in length, but they're not. Some will last longer than others. So to show you that, I'm just going to move over a bit here. So I'm going to trigger this drum kit clip, and then I'm going to trigger this pad clip, and watch how they run. Drum kit. Now you can see the pad is moving much faster than the drum kit. And it's going to loop. So this is, I think, 4 bars this. And this is 8 bars. So you can see, although they look the same, they last for different amounts of time. And that's what confuses people, I think, when they look at this. They think, oh, all these clips last the same amount of time, but that's not true. In the top right hand corner here, you can see this tiny cog here. If I press this button, this is the launch config menu, and it says here show arrangement in clip matrix, and that's ticked. So if I come out of this, so this top row here, if I just press this arrange button, that's exactly the same as going into the arrange page and pressing play start. And you see it's playing here as well. So that's what that top row does. Now, in this menu here, if I untick that, now that arrangement has gone. We don't see that in the clip matrix. Well, we'll put it back in for the moment, I think. Now, with this arrange row, you can't actually do anything with these clips. If I press and hold, it doesn't do anything. Here's a handy tip. If you hold shift down and press stop all, that kind of clears all the playback. So then I could trigger individual clips from the arrangement. But I can't press and hold and do anything with these. And if I press and hold this arrange button, it will say cannot edit arrangement. Right, this whole shift and stop all. You'll see me doing that a lot in this video. This is a very busy project. If I go to the arrange page, you can see down here that there are 22 tracks. Come back to the clip matrix. We can only see 8 at a time. And this is the first 8 tracks. So to get to the others, just press the right arrow and you'll see it moving up through the numbers until we get to 22. However, you can move in 8s. So if I hold shift and the left arrow, see, very quickly move through 8 tracks at a time. And of course, if there are more than 8 rows, you can get to them by pressing the down arrow. Actually, in this, there are only 6 rows. So rows this way and tracks this way. So the reverse to the arrangement where you have the tracks coming down here. It's a bit of a weird concept to grasp at first, I guess. Now, if I press menu and go to this icon here, navigate, you can see there's this box that I can move around with my finger, and wherever I leave it, supposing I leave it here on the far right, like that, come back to the clip matrix. Now I'm looking at that was on there. See, so where that box is there, far right, all the way over and up, that's what I'm looking at in the clip matrix. So if I want to get back to track 1, menu, navigate, drag that up there and up, come back to the clip matrix, and there is track 1, and we've got the range at the top there. So that's a really quick way of getting to a part of the clip matrix that you want to see. Now, if you press a track name at the top of the page or play a clip in a track, or press an empty cell under the track, that track will then be in focus. And unless it's an audio track, the pads will then play the sounds of that track. So what am I talking about? If I just press the header of this track here, now you can see this is in focus and I've got the pads playing the sounds. So if I go to pad, this is a plug-in, pads are playing that. So if I go to this pluck track here and just pressing one of these empty cells, again that's made this track in focus and the pads are playing that sound. You notice you've got this record icon coming up, because if I hold shift you can see clip record arm is on. If I just turn that off and I bring up another track, I'll press this mellotron. Now got the mellotron, but there's no record icon coming up. Basically, if you hold shift and record arm, any track you go to will then instantly be armed, you see? So if I want to bring a track into focus but I don't want to make the track start playing anything, then I press either in the track header or in an empty space. If I go to vocal stack, this is an audio track, so we've got the single cell here and of course the pads won't do anything. Whereas if I go to mellotron, then I'll get the mellotron being played by the pads. Let's just talk about launching clips, playing clips. Launching is just a posh word for saying playing the clips, and how to stop things. Right, so individual clips can be launched by pressing them, and rows of clips can be launched by the row buttons on the right hand side. If I want to launch this clip here, just press it. And then press underneath in an empty space or above in an empty space, and that will stop it. Or I could just press the stop button like that. A couple of ways of stopping that clip. Now I've already launched that. Let's launch another clip, this synth pluck. Now you notice, because I'd already launched that drum kit clip, that's now added to that. It's an accumulative process. So if I press stop and I press play again, then those two clips will start. Now notice there was a delay there. We'll come to that in a moment. So if, like I say, you press a clip and you hear other clips playing, it means that you've done what I've just done. I've set a few clips in motion. If you want to clear things out and start again, hold shift, stop all, and now that's all cleared. We're off to a fresh start. Now you can have multiple clips running concurrently on multiple rows. So I could have this drum kit, this pad, this pluck. See, they're on different rows, different tracks, but they're all running together. But if I press a row button, like this, watch what happens. Everything gets cancelled and just that row plays. See? Now if I wanted to stop this, I could hold shift and stop all, or press stop. But of course if I press play again, they're going to restart those clips. Let's clear it out again, shift and stop all. This is a bit complicated, but it's very important to get to grips with this, otherwise you'll get in a bit of a mess. Let's just launch a few clips again. Press stop. Now you can see the ones I've launched have turned grey, so I can see what's going to run if I press play again. If I press play, it's going to relaunch those clips. There's a delay, listen. And that's because under this cog menu, quantization is set to 1 bar. So with the quantization set to 1 bar, like this, if the clip has been stopped just after it started, you have to wait for the rest of the bar to pass before the clip relaunches. If the clip is close to the end of the bar, at the point where you stop it, then the wait will be much less. A good tip here is to press play start rather than play, and then the clips will launch instantly, like that. And of course if you launch a row, that launches instantly as well. So just be aware of this. If I launch this clip here, this pad here, this mellotron, they're on different rows, but if I launch a row like this one here, that clears everything out and it just plays that row. But now if I press stop, you'll see those clips along that row have been launched. So if I press play start, they'll instantly restart, or I could have just pressed the row. So it's worth spending time learning this. It will make life a lot easier for you if you do. Now you can use the pads to launch clips and to launch rows. So how do you do that? Down here it says pads notes. So if I'm on a plugin like this, pressing the pads will sound that track's notes. But if I press pads and bring up this menu, I've got a choice. Notes is what it's on. I've got clip launch and row launch. Let's go to clip launch. Now you'll see a change over here. Now if you look carefully, the colours of the pads are mimicking the colours in this white box that's come up. So this is yellow, this is yellow, this is blue, this is blue, this is green, this is green. So if I were to press this pad, it will launch this trap kit clip. Okay, stop everything. If I were to press this pad down here, that's for this strings clip here, and there it goes. Just stop that for a moment. Now notice if I go to an empty part of the track, then that deactivates that particular clip. So if I were to press play, it doesn't bring that up. It's sort of like shift and stop all, but for a single clip. Now, you might think, well, okay, that's great. That's fine for those 16 clips. How do I get to the others? Okay, there's a way of doing it. These buttons up here, which are labelled A, B, C and D. So if I press the B button here, that brings that box down, and you can see different parts of the clip matrix are being brought into view. If I press A, it takes it back up. So that's the very top. I could come down a row, down another row. Right, now the D button over here brings that white box over, like that. Obviously there's a lot of tracks. The C button brings it back to the left. So in other words, A and B are up and down. So B is down, A is up. And D and C are across. D brings it across and C brings it back. Now if I hold shift and operate these buttons, it jumps in 4s. So if I hold shift and the B button, it's dropped down 4 cells. If I hold shift and the D button, it's come over 4 columns and back 4 columns. Now these buttons here obviously mimic that action. So I could press the right arrow and the left arrow, and then the down arrow and the up arrow, same thing, you see. But this time if I hold shift, it jumps in 8s. So I'm on track 1, if I hold shift and the right arrow, now I've got track 9 there, it's jumped 8. So if you hold shift and the buttons up here, it jumps in 4s. If you hold shift and the touch screen buttons, it jumps in 8s. And of course if I go to menu and navigation and bring this over here, and come back to the clip matrix. Now of course our white box is in that top corner. Let's go back to that. So menu, navigate, all the way over there, clip matrix, and we're back where we were. This pad here is going to activate this clip here, which is actually the trap kit in the arrange mode. So you can see there's a gap here, so there's a gap here. So if I press this pad here, it will activate this trap kit clip. Let's then stop that. Now let's do that again. Notice the gap there because it's adhering to this quantization mode here. Let's go into that one bar. Let's press the data dial. Let's roll up to off. Now quantization is set to off. Now if I press this pad here, if I press the play button, it's instant. There's no wait. So you can quantize the way the clips are launched. I will leave this on one bar for the moment, I think. So I call it the quantization rule, and you have to remember that. But if you don't want to wait, always press play start. But obviously that won't launch anything from the pad. So the pad will be dependent on what's set in this quantization menu. Quite a lot to think about, isn't it? Now, if I go to this tab down here, pads clip launch, press it. Let's change this to row launch. Now we've got a different look on the pads, and you have to understand how this works. If you look here, we've got purple, blue, kind of green, you see the colours, and if you look along here then along there, that's like going down. So this top left hand corner pad is arrange, the next one along is intro, the next one along is verse, the next one along is verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, outro, and you get the idea. So if I want you to launch the pre-chorus, that's on 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th pad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one here. So if I press this pad here, it's launched this pre-chorus. See the play button has gone green. So if I press stop, and that's stopped. And obviously there's no shifting around here because this is for the rows, and it's only this column of rows here. Obviously as you go further and further down, you'll see less and less pads that can trigger the rows. Now we're not done with launching the clips and the rows here, because at the top here, if I hold set and button 7, it says clip launch. Let's go to the pluck track here. That's now in focus. We can now see that step button 1 is lit, and that refers to this clip here. Next one is not lit because it's this empty clip, and then this one is lit and this one is lit. This is empty, empty, empty. So as you look along the buttons, you're looking down the column. So if I press button 3, that's the 3rd clip down in this track. It's going to launch this clip. Pressing an empty space to stop it. Notice how it used the quantization rule to know when to stop the clip. It didn't stop instantly. Okay, so let's go to another track. Let's go to this trap bass. Now notice I've got kind of a red tinge. This one's where it's set at the moment. So if I press button 4, it will launch that clip there. And that bass sound is coming through. Yeah, good stuff. So you can launch clips, and guess what? You can launch rows as well. Set, button 8 is row launch, and you can see top to bottom, arrange, intro, verse. So if I press button 1, that will launch the arrangement. I press button 4, you can see it's kind of a bluey colour. It will launch the verse 2. So there's loads of options for launching and stopping the clips and the rows, and obviously it's all colour coordinated, so the colours up here match the colours over here on the touch screen. Now of course if you set the quantization to off like that and press close, now we can do kind of beat repeat things. So let's set this intro going, and I'm just pressing that pad. Because the quantization is set to off, then these are instantly relaunching and you get that lovely beat repeat effect, which I really love. So don't forget, with the quantization set to off, there's no delay ever when you press a clip or you press play or you press the pad. You get the idea. If I press this pluck clip here, I can stop it by pressing the blank space above it, like that. Don't forget I put the quantization back on the bar. Set it going again and press an empty cell below, anyone, and that will stop it. See? And it clears the activation as well if I do it there. See? Whereas if I start it up again and I press the stop button, it's still activated. If I press play again, or play start, it comes in, you see? Whereas if I stop it, press play, start or play, nothing's going to play because all the activations have been cleared, you see? Don't forget shift and stop all, clears all activations, so you get off to a fresh start. Sorry, I know I'm going over and over this, but I just want to make this clear to you because it wasn't particularly clear to me when I first started. Now obviously, if you set something going like this row here, okay, and I clear these tracks by pressing empty spaces, that's fine, I've got them all, but there may be somewhere. Let's try this chorus. I'm going to clear these, stop these. We can still hear music, and that's because if I go across, this is still running. This is still running. Something's still running, this one's still running, so clear that. This is still running. That's still running. That's running. That's still running. Yeah, so you can see that I had to go right across clearing those individual clips, which is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? So your best friend is shift and stop all. Let's get back to our top corner. So you can edit clips. If I long press a clip, let's say for sake of argument I want to edit this track kit clip here, long press it. That brings up this menu where we can copy the clip, copy it to the arrangements. If I were to press that, copy to arrangement. Right, so there we are. I'm going to leave this in the video. You can see, oops, your MPC recovered from an internal error. That's what I was talking about earlier, about crashes. So now I've lost my song, I've got to reload it. If I'd done anything in that I wanted to keep, I'd be gnashing my teeth now because I didn't save at all. So it's a bit annoying, isn't it? Let's boot that song up again. So I had a lot of crashes there, as you saw, trying to show you that clip editing process. I've loaded in my own song and I'll try and show you on this. So here's my clip matrix for this song, and I will just press and hold this clip here. So brings up this menu here, copy to arrangement. So it hasn't crashed this time, and it's come up with this copy to arrangement position bar, so you can scroll through that, whatever bar you want to copy that to. And if I put bar number 10, and you can either cancel it or replace what's in the arrangement or merge two things together. So if I put replace, go to the arrangement, and hopefully we go back to the beginning, and there it is, it's gone in bar 10. Just undo that, so that's worked okay. Let's just press and hold this again. So delete is obvious, edit clip takes you to the clip editing screen. Now this is something I haven't shown you before. This is particular to the clip matrix, and the main thing you do in this view is to change the length of the clip. So grab hold of the handle on the end and change the loop. Now it's only 1 bar in length, and you can change the launch quantize on this, so you can either leave it on global or you could put it to off, or something different to what you set in that cog menu on the clip matrix page. So if I just show you that, so this menu here is showing 1 bar, quantization launch as 1 bar. But if I go to edit clip, and I can change this to off, so that could be off for this particular clip, but everything else would be governed by the global quantization. Also, you can change the launch mode from trigger to toggle. Now trigger means that if I press this and I press it again, not much happens, you see. But if I set that to toggle, right, now go into this again, press it to start it, press it, stops it, starts, stops, which I think is actually more useful. I can't really say for sure at the moment, but it seems to me that would be a better way of doing things, be able to stop the clip just by pressing it again. Anyway, I'll reset that, I think, for the moment. We'll change toggle to trigger. Yeah, so a few things you can do on this page. You can select notes, but you can't edit them here. So if I wanted to edit this, I'd have to go to the grid page, and then I could change, the velocity, things like that. You can't really edit that much in the clip page. Only those things, the loop start, loop length, the launch quantize, the trigger mode. Yeah, so things like that. Is there a shift menu? All the serious editing is done in the grid view page. So I go back to the clip matrix, press and hold that. Edit event, of course, takes you to the grid view. And settings, obviously here you can change the colour of the clip. You can change, again, that quantization, whether it's global or whether it's particular to this clip. The launch mode could be changed. So that is the menu you get when you long press a clip. And I've had to sort of jump to another project to show you that. So there's obviously a bug there, and it's rather annoying, isn't it? I'm in the demo song here. I'm going to press and hold edit clip. Now, it's worked this time, it hasn't crashed. With this, we get a different view when we edit. Obviously, this is an audio track, so I've long pressed this, and here you've still got the loop, start, and global and trigger, but obviously here you can see the audio regions rather than MIDI clips. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. You can edit rows. If I press and hold on this intro here, get all these menus coming up. If you press insert, it will insert a row above the one you're currently on. If you press insert 8, it inserts 8 rows above that current row. Insert and capture, I'll show you this, it's quite a good one. So if I've got this running and this running and this running, okay, I could do this while it's still running, but I'll stop it for the moment. Insert and capture. Now this row 2 here, which is a new row, has got those 3 clips that I was just running, and they've been put into one row. So I'll press undo to get rid of that. Clears all the clips on the row, but it keeps that row in situ. It doesn't clear the row. Take snapshot is a bit of a weird one. What this does, it takes a snapshot of any automation settings on clips in that row, and once the snapshot has been captured on a row, then the saved state of all those automation settings will be relaunched with the event data on that row. And to clear a snapshot, well, if I did that and come back to it, you'll see we've now got clear snapshot. Press that and it's gone. So if I do that again, take snapshot, you see there's a little icon here now. Press again, clear snapshot, and it's gone. Yeah, that's fairly deep, I know, but a bit nerdy, but something you might want to do. You can edit tracks. So if I double press a track, if I double press this pluck track settings, again I can arm this track or turn the arming off. So if I rotate my data dial, the arming is off. I go back to it, you'll see there's no record icon there. Rearm it, go back, now you can see it. And under this menu you can change the actual plugin and the preset if you want, change the MIDI routing. Yeah, all kinds of things there. So lots of scope for editing clips, rows and tracks from within that clip matrix. Now if you look at the clip matrix, it's completely empty here. There's a couple of ways of recording clips. You can either do it here in the clip matrix or on the main page. I'm going to start off by showing you in the clip matrix. So this is completely empty. I've cleared the arrangement as well, so there's nothing here at all. So I've got tracks with sounds on, but no music recorded whatsoever. So I'm going to record some clips inside the clip matrix. So I'm going to press the track header of the track I want to record to, which is going to be this one here. It's actually already pressed, so I'll just press it again, there it is there. Okay, now it's not armed, So how do I arm it? I could hold shift and press this. Now it's armed. I could double tap the track header and I could arm it here. See the rectangles around that, rotate that, close. Now it's armed. So it's ready to do some recording. Pads are working. Okay, fairly obvious stuff. Notice a range is up here. We'll leave that for the moment. I can't record into this first cell, so I'm going to record a clip into this cell underneath here, row 1. I'm going to press down on this cell here and it's come up with create. Now I've got a cell with nothing in it, but it's got the name of the track in it. So we're getting ready to record. I'm going to bring down the drop down menu. Timing correct is on. Metronome is off, but it will be switched on in a moment because it's set to come on when I record. Tempo's 90, so that's all okay. Just to look at the TC, long press that. I've got some swing, which is fine, I want that. So that's all good, and it's going to correct to semi-quavers, 16th, that's all fine. Now I'm going to press and hold this record button. Now you get this all over the place on this machine, not just in the clip matrix. Whatever page you're in, if you press and hold record, you get this come up. It takes a while to come up. Press settings and then it will lock in. And here you can change various settings for how you record. You can have the automation writing when you're recording. So clip here, you've got various things you can do here. You can record to the selection, which is the default. You can record and then overdub to clip, record overdub or clip, just the clip itself. I'll leave it on the default, which is record to selection, and then once you finish recording it will drop into overdub mode like it does normally, so you can add things to it if it's a kind of a MIDI track plugin or a synth, that kind of thing, or a drum kit. Record arm single means that only one track will be set to record, and this will record at a fixed length of 2 bars. That's fine. Lots of options there. Now I've got 4 ways of setting this into motion, this record process. I could just press play, or I could press play start, or I could press the cell, or I could press the row that it's in. So I'll show you those options. So I've got to press the record button first, that's very important. It's saying prepare. Now I can use one of those 4 options. So if I press play, tap in, and then it's recording now, I'll stop that. Press record again, press play start, same idea. It's now recording, I'll stop that. Or I could press record again, press the cell itself, and it will start recording as soon as those 4 tap-ins have come and gone. Or I could press the row, record must be on. So lots of options. Let's just use the cell, so press record. Now you can see it's in overdub mode now, so if I were to play other pads they would be recorded without erasing what I've done. I'm just going to press stop, so we've got our first clip successfully recorded. And obviously as soon as it's recorded it immediately starts playing back and looping. So I've recorded just kick drum and snare drum. Now I'm going to press and hold on this cell, and I'm going to press copy. I'm going to come to the pad below, press and hold it, press paste. Now this clip is a carbon copy of the one above it. I press play on it. And here it's the same as the one above it. Now I'm going to add some hi-hats to this clip here, but I need to press overdub. Don't want to record on that one, I'm going to record on the one below. So I'm going to add some hi-hats to this track here. Here we go. So we've got this clip here with the hi-hats, and the one above it, same thing, no hi-hats. So we've got 2 separate clips and we've recorded them just using the clip matrix. Now you can see that track 3 is a 106 bass. It's using the Dura synth. I'm going to press this track header like that. I could press any of the clips, same idea. Right, so I'm going to create a clip on this bass track, track number 3. So I'm going to press that clip there. I don't have to make a clip, I just select a cell, an empty cell. I've got my bass down, it's a bit high. So I'm going to record a bass line here. It'll only be 2 bars. So let's set this off in a different way. Press record. Now notice I didn't get the metronome that time because I turned it off, but it didn't matter because I've got the drum track guiding me. So now I've got my 2 clips. Right, let's record an alternative bass clip on this track in this cell below that one. Now if I do this, I won't hear the original one, I only hear what I'm recording. Let's just practice what I'm going to play. Something like that. So record, let's do the row button to launch this. So that's done. Now I've got 2 bass clips, this one here, and I can jump to the other one. And it's following the law of the quantization, how quickly it jumps one to the other. If I turn this to off, then it will jump straight away. But if I don't want to change the quantization, but I want to get a smooth change from one to the other, I'll show you what I do. Go to this one here, press and hold, settings, tick legato, same here, settings, legato. Now, although my quantization is set at 1 bar, see I can change smoothly. If you set these clips to legato, they will change and carry on from where they left off. They won't start the clip from the beginning. Obviously I've set the quantization to off so the change is instant. That's a nice feature, that, isn't it? So I've got an alternative bass clip. There's the second one, here's the first one. Got 2 drum tracks, one without hi-hats, one with. Everything's going really well, isn't it? So with legato set, with 2 clips on the same track, you'll get that carrying on process from where it left off. So that's one way of doing things. Let's go into the mixer and we will just mute those couple of tracks we've just done at a pan and volume. So we've got that one, mute that one and that one. So the bass and the drums. Okay, back to the clip matrix. If I press play start, they're playing but they're muted. I'm on this track. Now I'm going to jump to this track here, another drum kit track which hasn't been used. So now I'm going to do a similar thing but on the main page. So main page, and this is what I said earlier, I should have mentioned this when I talked about the main page. I'm going to use this main page to record into the clip matrix. So you can see that I'm on this track 2 hip hop kit. If I roll back, now I've brought it back to arrangement. There's nothing in the arrangement, and I want to record this track into a clip in the clip matrix. So I'm on arrangement here. I rotate the data dial. All these are unused. It means that these are clips in the clip matrix that are unused. I'll use this sound here. It's going to really stand out, isn't it? So record arm says clip, that's good. I've scrolled to cell number 1, unused, row number 1 if you like. Fixed length is on, default length bars 2, that's fine. It's already done. All I've got to do is press this virtual record button here. I'll get my count in and I'll be able to record my pattern. I'm simply going to play this sound here. Okay, that's fine. If I go into the mixer, I'll just unmute this track. Go back to main. Now, if I press this play button here, here's what I played. So I've got the 2 drum tracks playing together now. If I go to the clip matrix, there's my thing I've just recorded on track 2. Back to the main page. Now this tiny button here is a duplicate button, so if I press this, it's going to copy what I've done here to another clip on the next row. It's gone to it already. Let's go to the clip matrix, and there it is. That is exactly the same as that. Back to main. So now I've got this, and as long as I use overdub, I can play something along with that. That'll do fine. So overdub. Okay, now I can press this button here. This is a record button. See the notes coming in there. So that's recorded. So if I go back to the clip matrix, let's just hold shift and stop all. So this clip here is the first one I did, and this one is the one that's got that with the extra sound. Right, so let's go into the mixer and we'll unmute that. So now we can have this row here, or this row here, or a combination of them. So good, isn't it? And of course, if I go back to the main page, now if I press play, I could rotate from one bass track to the other. There's bass track 1, here's bass track 2. Or I could go to the second track. Track 1, the second drum kit, simple one, or the extra, or go to track 1, simple drum track, no hi-hats, and now with the hi-hats. So you can see the possibilities are pretty endless here. I've been switching rows here. So if I go to the clip matrix, that's reflected here. If I choose the 106 bass and that row 2 version of that, come back to main, and there we are, see it's come up there. So the two are talking to each other, that's what I'm trying to get across to you. And obviously here, as you scroll through these, that's the arrangement, nothing in that. If you come to something that says unused, then it means that you're on a row that hasn't been used, a clip that hasn't been used. Now if I come back to the main page, let's just take the record arm off for the moment. If I press this play button here, it starts immediately. So if I hold shift and stop all, come back to the main page, press this play button, I'll only hear that track. So what I want to show you now is what I call long form recording. In other words, this is great for if you just want to jam across a couple of bars you've put into the clip matrix. So I've got this Rhodes track here, track 6, and it's just a standard Rhodes sound, really nice. I'm going to do this in a couple of ways. I'm going to do this in the main page and in the clip matrix as well. Let's go to the main page. Here we're on that track. It's set to arrangement. Let's go to 1. This is row 1, which is unused. I'm going to set the fixed record length to off, and now I can record for as long as I like. So the clip is armed. So if I put this back to arrangement, it now says sequence record arm. If I go to the clip, it changes to clip record arm. And all I've got to do to start recording is press this record in this kind of oval here, and we'll get the countdown, and I just play some notes. Right, I'm just going to check what I'm going to hear while I'm recording, so I'll press this row 1. So this is what I'll hear in the background when I record this bit of. Yeah, it's on a rather bouncy stand, this, so excuse me if this bounces around a bit. Let's go back to the main page. All I've got to do is press record, we'll hear the count in, and away we go. You see the notes coming in. Now I've purposely gone over 8 bars. It could be any amount of bars I wanted. I've gone to 9 bars there. Here's our grid of all the notes. I'm just going to turn the record arm off for the moment. I'm going to go to the clip matrix, shift and arrange. Here's our track. If I just press row 1, see how much slower it's moving than the other 2-bar clips. Now I'm going to press and hold on that. I'm going to edit clip. Now at the moment you can see it's gone beyond 9 bars. I'm going to get hold of this handle at the end of the loop and drag it back so it's only 8 bars. So here we go. Yep. It didn't snap, did it? So now we'll have a loop length of 8 bars. So press play, start. Here's my jam I've just done. Not fantastic, but good enough to show you what happens here with long form. See the actual virtual keyboard is playing the notes I played. The loop is on, so when it reaches the end of 8 bars, it will loop round again. Won't play those notes outside the area. Here it comes again. So that's pretty good, isn't it? It's great for sort of jamming. That's often a problem with these kind of machines. You know, you get these loops, you get these little clips, but then you think, well, do you know, I just want to play some guitar over it or something. Here's how it's done. Let's undo this. Get rid of all that. Press undo a few times, and now that's gone. Let's go into the clip matrix and do exactly the same thing. So this is where I'm going to record, into this cell here. Press record, so it's flashing. Recording to clip is what we want, and if I press this unused cell, I can record as many bars as I want and do the same thing. I'm going to hold shift and record arm. Now if I press this, here we go. Yeah, so that's good, that's gone in. And if I long press this, go to edit clip, there it is. I can see that in the grid view. I can also see it in the this edit as well if I wanted to. Shooting down through that, isn't it? And again, I could set the loop. Now, the loop is set to 9 at the moment, so I'll simply click on that, change that to 8, and now that pattern will loop round after 8 bars. Yeah, so that's what I call long form recording, and it's very useful, isn't it? And you can edit things. Obviously you don't have to go from bar 1. You could set the loop to start from bar 5 and have just 4 bars there, whatever you want. I'll just leave that in for the moment because that could be quite useful. Let's go back to our clip matrix. Now I want to talk about the relationship between the arrangement, that's this page here on the same button, and the clip matrix. I said earlier, didn't I, that there is this symbiotic relationship between the two views, the two parts of the Live 3. The arrangement and the clip matrix can run completely independently, although parts of tracks or whole tracks in the arrangement, at the moment I haven't got anything in here, but if I had, I could copy those into the clip matrix, and vice versa. If I've got clips here, I can copy those into the arrangement. Right, so let's just press and hold this clip here, and we'll copy to arrangement. We'll put it on bar 1 and replace. So I go to the arrangement now, and I go to bar 1, shift and stop. So I've got this here, I'm going to zoom up a bit here. Yeah. Now you'll see that it's got this play button here. So if I press play, it's not playing this, it's playing what's in the clip matrix. As it happens, they're the same thing at the moment. I could swap to the arrangement just by pressing this play button here, and now what's here would be what's in the arrangement. So you see a play button, it's playing the clip matrix. If you press that button and it goes out, then the Live 3 is playing what's in the arrangement. And there's a button here, all tracks to arrangement. That icon's gone out, so now it's only the arrangement playing. So if I go shift, stop, play start, all we've got is that drum track, because that's the only thing in the arrangement. And that's finished now. If I press and hold on the track header here of the arrangement of this drum track, copy arrangement to clip. So now it's asking me where I want to copy this to. That's fine. And now that's copied that into clip 1. So clip 1, what's in this clip, whatever was there before, has been replaced by what's in the arrangement. Now I'm going to bring this loop all the way back. So at the moment you can see I've got a loop that is 3 bars. Let's set it down to 1 bar. So it's only 1 bar. Okay, so if I were to copy this now, it'd only copy that 1 bar into a clip in the clip matrix. So if I press and hold, if I copy arrangement to clip, it's going to go there, do it, that's only 1 bar. So I go to the clip matrix, let's just make sure everything's stopped, press this, just 1 bar. Whereas this one, if I press it, is 2 bars, you see? But this one is just 1 bar, see how fast it runs by comparison. So that's the relationship between the two, the arrangement and the clip matrix. Go to the arrangement and you don't have the loop on, then it will copy everything on that track to the clip. It won't know how much of the track you want to copy to the clip matrix. So back to the clip matrix, set this going, back to the arrangement, all tracks to arrangement, and now we've only got that drum track, see? So that's the arrangement playing rather than the clips. So if you see those play buttons on the right hand side, you know you're hearing the clip matrix version of that track. So they are different in that respect. So you can have different things playing in the clip matrix and the arrangement. And of course you could have a mixture. Right, let's go to clip matrix. Go to the arrangement. Now, at the moment, it's the clip matrix we're hearing for the roads. If I press this play button, that roads has disappeared because it isn't in the arrangement, but it is in the clip matrix. Unfortunately, you can't bring that back. Don't think you can do that. No, you can't. So you have to go back to the clip matrix and then Now it's back to the arrangement, and there it is. You're hearing it, the play button's on, press that, and it's gone. See? So it's a great way of getting a mixture of the two. You can have a mixture of the arrangement and the clip matrix playing. I'm going to press shift and stop all, make sure nothing is activated, so I could get this bass going. But then I could have this drum track not in the arrangement, and this here, down here, and the other kit. But what I've got there is like a mixture of something from the arrangement and a couple of things from the clip matrix all playing at the same time. But of course, as soon as I press a row, that takes over. Yeah, so just to show you can have a mixture of the two there, arrangement and clips from the clip matrix. Now, one really good thing you can do is you can record your performance from the clip matrix. I'm not talking about actually recording notes. I'm talking about how you launch clips in the clip matrix. You can record that into the arrangement. You can do exactly the same thing in Ableton Live. So again, I'm going to go back to my other song that I was using earlier. So at the moment, there's nothing in the arrangement, which is quite handy. If I press play start, nothing there, but I've got stuff in the clip matrix. So I could set this going, and I'm going to record what I do here into the arrangement. You need to make sure record to arrange is pressed, then you press record, and when you press play start, everything you do in this clip matrix will be recorded to the arrangement. You can see these arrangement clips are flashing. They're ready to receive data from the clip matrix. This will always happen from the start of the arrangement. You can specify a location where it's going to go in this view here, in the time view. You could press this button here and set the punch in, punch out. I'm not going to do that for the moment. You could do. I'm going to get a count in, and as I trigger these clips, they're going to go into the arrangement. So we'll start with this one. Just that's running now. 106 bass is running. If I go to the arrangement, you see stuff's coming in here. Let's have a different bass line. Let's have a different drum track. Or this one as well, rather. Let's change that for a simpler drum track. Let's stop this one. Let's stop the bass. Put this bass in. Now I'll press stop, go to the arrangement. Now everything I've done is in the arrangement, but you can see I've got some play buttons here, which means I'm not going to hear what's in the arrangement, I'm going to hear what's in the clip matrix. So I'm going to press all tracks to arrangement, and now I'm going to hear what I recorded by pressing those clips in the clip matrix in this arrangement. Bass is coming now, see? You can see what's going to change by just looking at the view there. This is how the drum track's going to come in here. That's something you'll be very familiar with if you own and use Ableton Live, where you record what you do in the clip view into the actual arrangement. And now it will stop. Okay, and of course the loop is set longer than that because that could loop if I drag that loop marker back. So let's go back to the clip matrix. A few more general things. Obviously you can name things. So supposing I didn't like that name there, press and hold, settings. Now the name is this great long name. Press and hold on that. Let's get rid of that and call it Simple Drums. Yeah, that's fine. And I could change the colour to something else. Let's push down on the data dial, change it to tangerine, close. Now, when I press play on this, It's a different colour, it's tangerine, and it's called Simple Drums. See? And obviously over here, these are just named 1, 2, 3, 4. If I press 1, I could change the name of that. In settings, name is 1. Let's change this to row 1 for the moment. Terrible name, but it shows you can change the name, do it, close, and now that's called row 1. I'll end this video by just messing around with the clip matrix a bit. Let's press arrange, that will launch the actual track. You can see these clips are starting to play.
He say I'm the best indeed, now he wanna bag it. Say he wanna invest in me.
Now I'm going to jump to the outro down here.
Cause city boys live for the city girls. Life move fast when you're having fun. They all love on the pretty girls.
So that's everything in that row. Chorus. Verse 2.
No, we don't chase it, never do basic. Cause we up, we jump, cause you know we on top, yeah. Through patience, we made it, now we up, pretty dreams. I'm there with the island breeze. Only good vibes in.
So if I press shift and stop all, now if I trigger rows, I won't always get that vocal. The chorus, verse, intro. Let's stop all. Let's use the pads, shall we? So pad, clip launch. There not be anything on that track just yet. You can see which clips are running because they flash. Let's try changing this to row launch. Put the quantization on off. Yeah, I was a bit clumsy there, but you can see what you can do. You can pull up bits and pieces of the project from anywhere in the project, as long as it's programmed into the clips, and you can play whole rows or you can play clips from different rows. Very, very versatile. You can record everything you do here into the arrangement. If you want to change the original arrangement, if you see these play buttons come up in the arrangement, you know you're listening to the clip matrix for that track rather than the arrangement itself. If you want to hear the arrangement rather than the clip matrix, press that button and now you see that's lit up. See how faint that is? Now if I press the play button, that lights up to show me I'm now listening to the arrangement rather than that. So that is the clip matrix, and it's pretty amazing, isn't it, what it can do? It's very, very impressive indeed. Lots of fun, very creative, and come up with some great ideas very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It's a lot to take in, I know. I've been preparing for this video for quite a few days, lots of research, and hopefully I've covered everything. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to give me some encouragement with all the work I do here on YouTube, then it'd be great if you can make a donation. You can do that here on YouTube, or you can do it via my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com. Thank you very much for watching this video, and you'll hear from me very soon, no doubt. Bye for now.